Have you ever gotten in your own way and self-sabotaged yourself from actually doing something, or talked yourself out of doing something that deep within your heart you knew you were meant to do, you were supposed to do, and maybe you even wanted to do, but then maybe fear sneaked in, or self-doubt, or something else that caused you to talk yourself out of it, to really stop yourself from moving forward? In this video today, I want to share with you a simple but very powerful 6-step process that you can start doing to start overcoming self-sabotage. Because I truly believe that if you're here watching this video, if you've come across this video, then I truly believe that you need to hear this message, because you are needed. In whatever way, shape, and form you're going about your life, whether you're a healer, a light worker, or maybe you're not, maybe you're just starting out your spiritual awakening journey, you are needed. And I truly believe if you're watching this, then you need to hear this video. Because once you stop self-sabotaging yourself and really allow yourself to step into your own power, then you can create the life that you want, that you're meant to live, that you're destined to live. So stay tuned. Hello there, beautiful soul. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Kay Sanders. I'm a transformational coach and divine messenger. And I do assist awakening souls on their spiritual awakening journey so they can really step into their power, truly awaken to who they are within, step into their power and create the life that they truly desire, of more success, more abundance, and more freedom. So if you're new to my channel, I want to invite you, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification so you can get notified whenever I release new content. But let's talk about self-sabotage. What exactly is it, and why do we do that? Well, self-sabotage is any time when you get in your own way. When, let's say, you have an idea and it sounds so exciting and you really want to go for it, but then you have that little voice in your head saying, no, let's not do that. That's scary. You're not good enough. You can't do that. Let's not do that. That's a part within you that is scared. Well, we also can call it ego, right? Because ego wants to keep us safe. But when you know deep within your heart, when you have that idea, when you know that there's something in your life that you could be doing, maybe even should be doing, that would really bring you that excitement that you want, but you're not actually taking action, then that's actually self-sabotage. You are really literally talking yourself out of taking action. You're depriving yourself of the life that deep down within you know you're meant to live. And usually self-sabotage really comes from fear. That's really what it boils down to. Self-sabotage is directly linked with fear. Fear of success, fear of being rejected, fear of being made fun of, fear of not being good enough, fear of failing as well. A lot of people, they don't like to do something because they're afraid, well, if I do this, I might fail, and then I feel pretty lousy, because anything that doesn't go so well, it doesn't make you feel very happy and excited. So to avoid any of those negative feelings, we often talk ourselves out of actually doing it because, well, we don't want to feel lousy. But the thing is, anytime you have this idea of doing something that really gives you that warm, tingly feeling within, that just feels right, but then you don't take action, that comes from fear, because a part within you knows that whatever idea you just had was what you are meant to do, is the right thing. And now moving forward, like I said, if you're here watching this, I know you need to hear this message because you are needed. Whether it is you are in your own business, or if you're a healer, a light worker, a psychic, or if you're just, like I said, just at the beginning stage of your spiritual awakening, you haven't even really figured out what your life purpose is, what your mission is in this lifetime, then this video is truly for you. I truly believe that you were guided to watch this video, and I hope you're going to stay with me throughout this video, because I want to share with you the 6-step process. Because, like I said, if you're here, then you're meant to listen to this. You're meant to hear this message, because maybe you're holding yourself back. Maybe there's something that you know deep within your heart you're meant to do, but you haven't really allowed yourself to take that next step, or even just the first step. Maybe you have talked yourself out of it, like, well, I'm not ready for that. I'm not good enough. And there's so many other people that are doing this, or whatever it is. And I want to invite you, please don't judge yourself for, if you're realizing that, well, yeah, I talked myself out of it. I've done it too. We all do that. We all do it. But with the 6-step process I'm about to share with you, you can take back the control. Because right now, if you are letting your fear hold you back, then you're giving your power away to whatever fear is holding you back, right? Whether it's fear of being seen or of being judged or failing or whatnot, you're actually literally giving your power away to that fear. And we want to take back the power. You want to take back your power so you can really do what you're meant to do. So let me share with you the 6-step process that I have done myself, that I teach my clients, and it's really powerful in helping you step back into your power. Really take back your power, take back the power, and then you get to choose what is to your highest and greatest, what is really in alignment with what you know deep within your heart you're meant to do. So the first step is become aware without judgment. Now, you want to become aware when you're talking yourself out of it, or when you're close to or about to talk yourself out of it. So let's say you have an idea. Maybe in your meditation and you're getting a download that maybe you should do something, or you just have an idea popping in and you get excited about it, like, oh, that is exciting, and yes, that feels great. Then you come out of meditation and maybe you're still excited, but then when you're thinking about taking that first step to really doing whatever idea you had, and then you're maybe realizing, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm ready. I mean, who am I to actually do this? That's what I'm talking about. You want to become aware of those instances when you try to talk yourself out of doing something, or picking up the phone and calling someone that you haven't talked to in a very long time, but you keep thinking about this person and you're like, well, maybe I should talk to this person, but then you talk yourself out of it. Now, this may seem very insignificant in that moment, but if you keep thinking about it, if you keep having that inner nudge that, well, I should be doing this, or I want to do this, there's a reason for that, because whatever idea you had is to your highest and greatest good. Now, it may open doors for you. Let's say you're meant to call this one person that you haven't talked to in a very long time. Now, maybe this opens a door for you for whatever is to your highest and greatest good. Or just taking action on something. You had an idea to create something, or to maybe do an event, or whatever it is. Maybe you had an idea to start a business, or to sign up for this course, to learn some kind of healing modality, or whatever it is. You want to become aware when you then all of a sudden start thinking about all the things, all the bad what ifs, like, well, what if I do this, and well, this could happen, and oh my God, well, then maybe people laugh at me, and all of those different things. Or maybe it's going to be hard, and maybe it takes a lot of money and a lot of time. You want to catch yourself. You really want to become aware when you start doing that, because awareness is really key to everything. When you become aware that you are misaligned, that you're getting in your way, then you have a choice. You have a choice to do something about it. So that's really powerful. That's how you take back your control. So that's the first step. Become aware, but never judge yourself, because judgment it's only going to take you down the rabbit hole, because then you feel bad about yourself and you may talk down on you. We don't want that. You want to become aware so you then have a choice. So this is actually very empowering rather than the opposite. Okay, so whenever you become aware that maybe you've been holding yourself back for quite some time, this is actually a good thing. I want you to be excited about it, because now you are in power. You have the power of choice. You can do something about it. So never judge yourself. I truly believe whenever we become aware of something, that gives us power, because then we can choose to do something about it if it's no longer in alignment. So become aware is the first step. Then the second step of the 6-step process is you want to tune in, and you want to become a little bit of an investigator and ask some questions. So when you tune within your heart, you can even close your eyes, or you can even do it in writing as well. If writing is easier for you, you can write it down, and you can ask the question, what is going on? Why am I feeling this way? Where is this coming from? Because usually when you start noticing that you are getting in your way and you're asking, what's going on? What am I feeling? Then you can tune into that feeling, and maybe you're realizing, well, I'm afraid. Okay, then you ask, what am I afraid of? What? Maybe you're afraid of actually failing. Okay, so that is good. When you have these insights, then you can ask, well, where did that come from? Because usually what's happening right now is linked to something that happened maybe earlier on in your life. Maybe there was an instant when you did something that you were really excited about, and maybe people laughed at you, or you had this massive so-called, well, people call it failure. I call it lesson learned, or, feedback. So think back, where did that come from? Where's this fear coming from? It may even not be linked to an actual event. It may be just linked to something that you've experienced, or something that you picked up on, or maybe some programming that you received. Maybe someone kept telling you that it's not safe to do certain things. So you really want to investigate, because the more you investigate, well, you become more aware of what's really going on beneath the surface. And I want to invite you to dig a little deeper, because it's rarely the first thing that pops to mind. That's like the above the surface, like your ego is feeding you something that it feels safe to give you, but it's not actually giving you or allowing you to go deep beneath the surface. So here I want to invite you, take the time and tune in and keep asking, where's this coming from? What am I feeling? Where's this coming from? What else? What else? What else? Really ask, become the detective of your own mind, of your own inner world. Because the more you find out, well, like I said, then you have awareness to do something about it. Which brings me then to step number 3. You want to then investigate, is this of truth? Is this of truth? Whatever you uncovered, is this of truth? If you fear that, well, if I do this, I might fail. Do you have absolute knowledge that if you take this step, that this is really what's going to happen? Usually it's not, right? Usually it's something that your mind is conscious, like, oh my God, if I do this, then oh my God, the world is going to end. But you have no absolute truth or proof that this is what's going to happen. So by investigating, is this of truth? You're probably going to get a no. There's a possibility something could happen, but there's also a good possibility that the opposite could happen, the good thing, right? So by investigating, by asking the question, is this even of truth? Do I have proof that this is what's going to happen? And then you can also ask, what's the lesson here? What's the message? What's the gift? Because I truly believe that any obstacle we face, any hiccups in life, any challenges, they are actually a big gift to teach us something, to give us some insights into something. Now, if you're doing this work of really investigating and tuning in and really getting that guidance from within and figuring out, going beneath the surface, this gives you so much power, because then you can take back the power in your own life, and then you live your life on your terms. And whenever you uncover something, I truly believe that's a big gift, because then you learn more about you. Then you may get feedback and insights about some major life lessons that you're meant to learn maybe. So by investigating, asking if this is of truth, you probably realize you're discovering the truth that, well, it's not really true. And then you can really tune in and ask, what's the lesson? What's the gift? What's the message here? And you'd be surprised what that is. Maybe you're realizing that, well, maybe you don't really love yourself enough to do this. Maybe you don't feel deserving to actually do this. And whatever it is, never judge yourself. Never judge yourself, because I truly believe whatever comes to your awareness is ready to be worked on, is ready to be released. So be grateful that whatever is coming up is actually coming up, because it gives you the power to do something about it. It gives you the power of choice, because you then have awareness. Like if you don't do this work, you won't have the awareness, because it's deep down, buried deep down, and you don't know that it's there. So by you doing this work, you start uncovering it, and then you have the power of choice. Then the 4th step is you want to make a decision. You want to decide, what do you want instead? Do you want to continue being afraid and being in doubt and hold yourself back? Or do you say, no, I got this. I'm good enough to do this. I can do this. So decide, what do you want instead? If you feel like you're afraid of actually taking that step, then maybe you want to feel empowered. You want to feel that you can trust yourself, or you want to trust yourself. You want to maybe decide that I got this. I've overcome so much already. I got this. I can do this. So decide, what do you want instead? Now, the first couple of steps were really about that inner world, really figuring out what's going on. Like I said, the more you can uncover, the better, because that gives you awareness, that gives you the power of choice, which brings me then to the 4th step, which is deciding, what do you want instead? Make a decision. Decide, what do you want instead? And even write it down. Write it down. This is what I want moving forward. And then the 5th step is Visualize a good outcome. Really tune in and visualize all the good what ifs. Like, well, if I do this, then, well, all these good things could happen. Like, really focus on the positive outcome. Whenever your ego is trying to throw you a curveball of any of those bad what ifs and like failing and not good enough, then you want to say, no, stop. No, go back to the good outcome. Really visualize yourself doing whatever it is that you want to do. Whether it's you want to stand on stage, visualize that in the most detail that you can. If you want to start a business, visualize yourself having a successful business where people just come to you. If you want to do healing, visualize yourself really making a big impact in people's lives, really healing them and assisting them in their healing, because you're not actually doing the healing, you're assisting them in the healing. Visualize whatever it is that you want to do and you've been holding yourself back, and visualize it in great detail. But then I want to invite you to go a little further and also feel it, because you're sending out a signal to the universe by feeling the positive emotions. By when you visualize and you really feel it and you bring it into your body, that's how you start creating it. So visualize in great detail, but like I said, focus on the good outcome, and then do this daily. If you can, do it twice a day or multiple times a day. Really feel into that. Visualize the good outcome of whatever it is that you have been holding yourself back on. And then, which brings me to the sixth and final step of this process, is learn to trust yourself more. Because trust and also self-love is very important. Because the more you trust yourself, the more you love yourself, then you also start to honor yourself. And then start taking those aligned and inspired actions. Because when you trust yourself, because you are going to get those insights, the nudges. This is soul telling you this is the next step to do. This is the next best thing for you to do to help you step into it. Because if you're visualizing it, you're also signaling your soul that, hey, this is what I want. So soul is going to give you those nuggets, those nudges, like, hey, maybe do this, maybe start making a plan, or maybe go to this event, or maybe call this person, or maybe do whatever, take this course. Your soul is going to nudge you. So you want to really trust whatever's coming up and allow yourself to take those aligned and inspired actions. Now, I just want to touch on aligned and inspired real quick versus just taking action, because if you take actions that you think are the right thing, that's usually ego territory telling you something that's actually in limitation. But if you're getting those nudges from within, if it just feels right and if it feels exciting, even though it's scary, it's probably going to be scary, because anything that is really to your highest and greatest good most likely is outside of your comfort zone. But this is the good thing, because then you can become aware, because then the process starts all over again. When you're noticing you're getting a nudge and then it feels a little too much for you, it scares you a little bit, you're about to talk yourself out of it again, you see how this process then repeats itself? Go back to step number 1, become aware. So this process is really powerful, and I want to invite you, because I also mentioned self-love is very important. I do have a video I want to invite you to watch. It's actually a message from Archangel Michael about self-love and how important it is. And actually that message is also a light code activation to really activate that self-love within you. So I'll put the link in the description below. So I want to invite you to take a look at that, watch that. I think you're going to love it. But this is really an easy, simple 6-step process that you can do anytime you feel you're holding yourself back. And it doesn't always have to be very lengthy, like the tuning in and finding out what's going on. It can be as simple like you're noticing that something is going on, you just tune in like, wait, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? And you just wait for the nudge. So you don't have to have a lengthy planned out process of sitting down and doing anything. It can be also on the spot. Like I do this all the time whenever I feel stuck, whenever I feel like I'm holding myself back, I just tune in and find out what's going on, and I make a decision like I don't want this, and then I course correct. And then I look into, okay, what do I want instead? So this can be a process of just a few minutes, or it can be a lengthy process. So this is completely up to you. There's really no right or wrong. The only wrong thing, I guess, here is not doing that. Because the more aware you can become, the better it is for you, because then you have the power of choice. You can do something about it. And then really rinse and repeat this process over and over again. Whenever you're noticing that you are stuck, you're holding yourself back, this process has helped me and also my clients so many times to really get unstuck, to not talk myself out of actually doing something, but then also really taking action. So there you go. You have this very simple 6-step process. I hope you're going to try it. If you do me a favor, leave a comment below and let me know if you've tried this process and what kind of experience you had, if it even helped you actually then take actions. I hope it does. I mean, it's really in your power to do whatever it is that you're meant to do without letting your fear really hold you back. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, if you did, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out that video I mentioned about self-love. I really think you're going to love it. So thanks so much for watching. I will see you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.